Hey, welcome back to Senor Malos here, and this is Tekkit Legends. Alright, so from the last episode, I did a couple of few things, and I updated this to-do checklist. I put in ore processing unit, big reactor, big battery rails, and I added the H industry down there again. So let's get started. So I was working with these things over here, the blue power, and to get this sapphire glass, and I did a couple of changes to these to get some of this red alloy ingots. But as you can see on the back side of this, I had to just move this pipe out of here because it was getting me overfilled with things. So yeah, I had to add another chest. You see, I got so much sapphire glass, so much red alloy ingot, and this is cool because we're gonna need a lot. But damn, it was too much. So eventually I'm gonna be making some barrels, which I have everything ready here to make barrels. And I have this over here because I really wanted to start to do the ore processing unit. I'm getting really stuffed with all these ores. So you see these 255, 242, 589. So every time I mine, I get so much ores. And if you're wondering where I'm mining all the way down there. It's a huge hole now. Um, but yeah, I need to start processing that stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do it on the dark room. I have a dark room back here, and without without night vision, it will be very dark. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it there. And the way that I'm getting into it is from behind this chest over here. So I have these pipes, and they will just transfer into here, and I have prepared a little bit of space in here. Now, the way that I want to do this, and as you can see, I was doing some Java stuff here, is doing some, what do you call this, yellorite. Okay, so you grab this thing, yellorite ore, and obviously you can macerate it and get two, so you can double your ores. But if you do a grinder module, you can get one out of this, right? So you get this one, the ground yellorium ore, and this one, if you mix it with a quicklime, you get three out of them. So with one ingot, with one ore, you can get three. Now, if you grab this impure, then you have a 30% chance to get more. So if you put it in a centrifuge module, and all this is about engineer's toolbox, and it's kind of not so intuitive to work out, but we can do this. So first of all, we need to get this what is it called, the limestone, the quicklime. So you mix this and you get quicklime. As you can see, you need a kiln module with ground limestone. And ground limestone, you get it with a grinder module and with the limestone. So yeah, we can definitely do this. It's a little bit complicated to do, but it's nothing from the other world. So let's go ahead and do this. I'm gonna use some space in the back. And the kiln module is actually a multi-structure module. Um, and you build it like this. So you put this 3x3 with a hole in the middle, and then you just put the four corners, and then you could go ahead and do the 3x3 again and again and again and again. So basically you need it to be 7 high with a kind of like a pipe in the middle like this. So I think it's just like this. That will be 7, I believe. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's exactly the size and shape of the kiln module. And what you need to make it a kiln is grab this one of these modular sockets and put it on any side of this thing, just like that, back. And then the next thing you need is to get one of these kiln kiln modules. Just put it in there, and I believe to be completed, I'm not sure really, it can be completed like that, but it does need some power. So on the back it has to be power. So just like that, it will actually eventually recognize it as a multi-structure and just transform it into a multi-structure for you. There you go. And you see as a multi-structure when you see this bar in there. So that's a pretty cool thing. Now I'm gonna go ahead and separate one space over here, and as you can see, it doesn't break the multi-structure, and just build another one over here so we can get like a little bit of faster production of this quicklime, because it doesn't have EMC, so we need to basically just like keep grabbing this thing out. And I just sent stuff to the system, but I didn't need it. Alright, so let's get it up here. and just like this. So it does need to have those openings. It does need to be that tall. You put the modular socket in the back, the kiln in the front. You put some energy input in the back, like this, and eventually that thing will transform into a kiln as well. And as you can see, I separated two spaces on the bottom and I left two spaces on the top because we're gonna need to build a little bit of a contraption into this thing. So what's gonna happen is we're gonna get this. I'm gonna go ahead and look for this thing over here. So yeah, to get the quicklime, you make it with a kiln in. You grab some ground limestone, you put it in a kiln, and then you get quicklime. So ground limestone works as gravel; it falls down. So we have to place ground limestone here. It has to stop right here in front of this thing, and this thing's gonna like cook it or something. And at the end, it's gonna pop out as an item into the world. So we need to be able to catch that item from the kiln. Um, so we need to make a little contraption to basically grind that the limestone and to make it into a ground limestone and then place it down there. So we're pretty much going to be using as well these things. I'm going to be using these modules, right? So like this, maybe like that. My idea is to have a chest in the middle of this that will create basically limestone, like infinite limestone, like that. I'm just gonna put maybe a little bit of that for sample, and it's gonna be sucked into this module, which is gonna be grinding. And for this, I have the recipe already set up in here because this thing doesn't have EMC, as you can see. And I'm just gonna grab two of these grinders and just place them in here and here, kind of thing. And then obviously these guys will need some power, so I'm gonna power them from the back. There you go. And then this thing has to output into this other block on this side, so I'm gonna separate it a little bit, just break them once in the middle because I need to access to that side, of course. And on this side I have to put something that pulls out, so what is it called? A machine output. So I need a machine output on this side and then another machine output on this side, and so whatever is grinded, it will be output to both of the sides. And then next thing, I need a item input, and that will be one of these guys in here. So basically these guys will just accept items that will come out of this machine output. And now we need something to be placing the items into the world, and that would be an activator. There you go. And the activator works, if you hold shift, it says RS activation pulse. So basically it will put items into the world with a redstone pulse. So we put it in the bottom like that, and let's put the other one here in the bottom. And we need a redstone pulse, so basically we need to like make a clock for this thing. So redstone pulse, internal. We have this thing called the internal clock, and we can slap it in the front like this and make a redstone pulse to the bottom. So that will be almost it, except for this thing. We need to have an item extractor in the middle like this. Extractor, fluid extractor, item extractor. There we go. So this will suck items out of inventories no matter what. So we put this one here and this one here, and that will pretty much be our little setup. This should be pulling items out of the chest, which is going to be making limestone. This is going to be grinding them. It's going to push it out to this way, and it's going to go fall into this, and the activator will place an item from the inventory into that thing. So now we need the tool. What was it called? The socket remote. There we go. And we're going to be working with inventory, so that's green. So first inventory, and then first inventory, first inventory, first inventory, It's gonna probably, I think it's like this, but the output should be the second inventory as well. There we go. Second inventory will be the output. Everything else will be the first inventory. There we go. First inventory. And I believe that's it. That should be working as fine right now. The killing doesn't need any programming or anything else like that. So let's go ahead and build this thing up here. So we're gonna be needing this chest and some limestone. And I'm gonna be using the chest like maybe a little bit higher so I can come in here. So I'm gonna be putting this thing maybe one block high like this thing like that right there. Then put these things in here, and as you can see, it's already crafting our beautiful limestone. Alright, so next thing we're gonna have to grab one of these guys, just like that, slap it next to the chest, and as you can see, it should be pulling out items into this thing already. I cannot see the items that it has, but if I get actually what is this thing called? There we go, an inventory interface. Probably gotta get a couple of them. Maybe if I get an inventory interface and I just slap it down here, I can actually see it already has one stack of items in the bottom. So that's pretty cool, huh? So there we go. Shift right click to break it, put it down here, slap one of these inventory things down here and put it item 1, then already stuck a whole stack of blocks in there. Alright, so next thing would be this activator over here. Now the activator needs a redstone signal, which will be, we have to set it up down here. Yeah, just same as 1, like that. So we put it there and there. There you go. So this can come and go up here like that. And now to change the speed, because it's kind of fast like that, you get into the white mode and now you can change this color over here. And we want it to be slow because the killing actually does take some time and we don't want to be like overfilling it up. So we're gonna go ahead and do just that, like that. That's a cute little machine, isn't it? And just for the giggles, I'm gonna go ahead and put this thing on here. So let's change the speed to something like this, I believe, maybe one more down. It has the... Alright, now let's go to the green, put this thing in there, and there we go. Now that should be working as soon as it has power, which we are pretty much ready also for the power. So let's slap some of this beautiful cable out here, and then this in the middle like that. And that should be what? Receiving only in frequency 1, I believe? Yeah, there we go. Now you can see these grinders, they're starting to do some stuff in here, and as soon as it finishes, it will pop out one of these items to this side. And this already has one, so it's just waiting for this thing to be set up. And then it would place basically one of those grind limestones into the world, and it will fall all the way down to pretty much all the way down here. As you can see, there you got the first one. And this is actually a very different one than this one over here. See, that's a pretty cool thing. So now we're gonna start to be packing with these things. Next thing we need to do is to get a couple more chests. Maybe something like this and this, like that. And I want some hoppers. Because I need to break, I need to put the hopper in there. There you go. And I did destroy the multi-structure now, so it did uncraft itself. So when you get the multi-structure and you put this thing in here, you can see eventually it will change the color. Well, once it becomes a multi-structure, actually. Well, this one actually changed the color, you can see it. Yeah, but we need to put the hopper in there first, because without it, it's not gonna work as well. Hopper, there we go. And just finish the multi-structure like that. There we go. And obviously you can place it from the top like this. And as you can see, it changes colors, it falls, and it gets sucked into this, and we get the quicklime. Perfect. Now, this is gonna start getting filled up pretty fast because it has no ending, as long as we have power, of course. So what we need to do is to get this, to get the limestone out of here into our next processing area. So for that, we're gonna be working with barrels. Those are pretty important right now. We don't need this. We don't need. Well, probably we're gonna be using the item extractor. All right, so let's go ahead and do the barrel. So I have everything set up here, and I did this job. There we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab a couple of these things, which I don't have any. Yeah, something like that. I don't think I need that much, but all right. So let's grab a few more of this, guys. Something like that, maybe. Then we need to grab, say, this upgrade, of course. So 1, 2. And I think that's it. I think yeah, you cannot craft the 243 one. That's actually a created item only. So yeah, 81. Anyway, that's a lot. So yeah, well, there we go. We got the barrels. So now we need to push everything from this chest eventually into a barrel. So we're gonna be using again the modules like this. We're gonna have a module that sucks from this side and puts it into the middle. So that shouldn't be hard enough. So let's grab these things like this and get items extractors. One here, one here. From into the inventory one, like that. Get some inventory checkers. Set it up to 1. And both of them should be pushing into the middle one. So we need an item output. There we go, 2 of those. 1 in here, 1 in here. From the same inventory. There we go. If I grab this thing, put it in here, pretty much I pulled out all the quicklime from there. And it's actually ready to push it out into this side. We do the same thing on here. There we go. Now all we need to do is get a barrel, one of these better barrels. I'm gonna grab a couple of them and get some of the upgrades here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just be ridiculous with all the upgrades, because you know, it's just EMC and I have a lot of it, so why not? So 1, and there's some other number, and there's some other number, and what else we need? There's a 2, there's a 3, there's a 4, there's a 7, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think, yeah, that's it. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do these upgrades. And I forgot to make the B space tuning fork. That's gonna be needing later on. Anyhow, so we got the upgrades all the way there, and then Well, let's try to see if actually it puts it in here. Yep, everything is placed into it. Awesome. Upgrade number 1. Oh, there we go. Upgrade number 2. Upgrade number 3. Upgrade number 4. No, this is 4. 5, 6, and 7. There we go. We got emeralds. Now everything is going to be falling into this place. Now, sometimes eventually the quicklime would fall outside of the kiln because it is just an item into the world. So for that, in that case, I'm just going to grab a couple of windows, basically just glass, and just slap it into this area right here so they don't go popping out anywhere that they shouldn't go. And I think there's another hole right here. There we go. And that should be it. Perfect. Now we're gonna get some pretty much quicklime, pretty fast actually. There we go. So now you can see we have an issue over here. Still faster. This thing is still faster than these things down here, so we need to make it a little bit slower. So we're gonna go for wide and just put it right there at the bottom. So I think it's just because I don't have enough power coming into this thing. So we're gonna make it a little bit slower so this thing has the time to catch up. But anyway, we got 41. Oh gosh, I just pulled it up. You can lock it. I mean, these barrel bars are working really cool. Let's go ahead and craft that resonant thing. This B-space tuning fork, just like that. Tuning fork, yes please, thank you. And teach it. There we go. All right. Now we need to make another better barrel that looks exactly like that one again. And that one we will be having to... I think this is the only pretty much annoying thing of this thing. Let's see. That you have to like go ahead and slap everything in order with the balance and all this good stuff. So there's goes 2. There's goes 3. There's goes 4. There's goes 7. And what is this? This hammer thing. There we go. I don't know if we can use this, but we'll check it in a second. So we can put this barrel here, get the upgrades in it, not like that. Shift and get the upgrades like that. 4, 5, 6, and 7. There we go. So it's the same as that. And now we can do the resonant, I believe. There we go. Slap the resonant thing in here. And if we are correct, we can, there we go, start resonating, and now they're resonating together. So basically this is like an ender chest, pretty much. You can pull it out of here, push it into here, and it has the option to hold a lot of stacks. Now it says 47, it says upgrade slots 125 out of 127, and it holds 4,000 items, which is not that much, it's just 64 stacks. So for that, well, now it's resonating, so now I can't do this. But yeah, 64 stacks should be fine, I believe. Alright, so let's go ahead and proceed to the next thing. Now, this one you can't move. If you break with this, it will just pop all the items into the world. So next thing we need to craft is one of them carts. This one's over here, the dollies. And they're pretty simple to craft. Iron ingots, a couple of planks, and diamonds. So just grab one of these. Let me actually grab another one because we need one for this with 3 diamonds in the bottom. They don't stack, so we put them like that. There we go. And yeah, this one would help us to grab spawners, and this one will help us with chests and other goodies, especially this thing like here, like that. You see, I pulled it out. Now the doll is full. It should give me slowness and mining fatigue as long as you're carrying it, and then you can just place it back there. And now you can move it out. And these are pretty cool. You can move also chests. Let's say this chest I don't want it here, you can put it in there. I don't want it there, you put it there. You want this, pretty much everything that has an inventory, except for this, guys. You can just pull it out and place it somewhere else if you want. It's pretty cool, isn't it? All right. Next thing is to get a module that will start grinding stuff. So I'm gonna craft probably like a wall of these things, maybe right here. So the ore will come from this side into a list of possible inputs where they would get grinded, and then the output of the grinding would go mix with these limes, with quicklime, and then go into probably another area down here for getting the quadruple ore, and then the last ones should be smelted and take back into the system. And I think I'm gonna have for stuff that has EMC, I'm gonna have a chest and just keep crafting maybe red matter or whatever. And for the stuff that doesn't have EMC, we'll get into the system and get into sort it into one of these things. So like if it's big reactors, yellorites or whatever, it will come into a specific place. So yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and do a little kind of sample here so you guys could get the idea of how this works. So I'm gonna have like a couple of, the idea is to have a couple of things like that, all of them with like obsidian chests like this, and then there's gonna be pipes in there, probably like provider pipes. It's not provider pipe. What's it? Supplier pipe. There you go. So we got supplier pipes like that, and then you configure it to keep something in there. So we're gonna be pulling out. Where's this thing at? Let's get some yellorite, just as the perfect example. And there we go. So we got these, and we just pull this thing, get it infinite. So all the yellorite would be placed into this chest, and then this thing obviously would suck up those items with an item extractor on this side, set for the, where's that thing at? Right here. Set for item 1 like that. It will suck out all the yellorite into this thing, and basically it would actually grind it as well, right? So we need a couple of more grinders, and we're gonna be needing grinders like crazy, but I'm gonna grab 2. Alright, so we get those grinders, just slap them in there for now. So it will pull it out, push it into this, use the slot 1 to grind, and get the machine output on this side right here, like that. And the machine output would be number 2, and then obviously all this has to have power, so we gotta power it from behind somehow. Well, it doesn't need to be from behind, but I find it just easier. So maybe just put a couple of diamond blocks. Well, we need the energy input first, otherwise it would not connect. And these don't need to be configured. You can if you want to, but you don't need to. There you go, 1, 2, 3. Maybe get a couple more down here like this. Obviously get our little pipe on here with power. receive on number 1. There you go, we're getting this. Now let's see if we can get a hold out back there. Where's this open hole? There we go. And I'm going to be connecting through this thing right here.